Hey guys, welcome to Project Metal Music's YouTube channel and the Silent Night podcast. And we are here with our host, El, and Lisaboo. And we got our special guest, Mick Michaels of Corners Sanctuary. Welcome,
Hey,
guys.
thanks for having me. Hello, hello.
Pleasure, there, Mick. Yeah, so let's get kick off. Mick, your band, Corners Sanctuary, just released yesterday um, the extended EP Metal Up
Yes,
and the single Hunt a Prayer. So, could you tell us, well, to start off with, could you introduce yourself and what you do within the Corners Sanctuary for people who don't know?
sure. My name is Mick Michaels. I'm with the band Corners of Sanctuary, and I pretend to play guitar. So, yeah, we released a new extended EP yesterday. It dropped physical format, so it's available exclusively in CD. It's called Metal Up. It's an extended EP because it has 8 tracks on it. So standard EP, 4 tracks, maybe 5. We decided to kind of push the limit a little bit and create our own term. So extended EP is the way to go, right? Um,
Yeah.
and the first single, which is available digitally, is Hunter Prey, and we're real excited about it because it's a heavy song. It's gritty. We've been pushing the envelope with our writing, our interior, for what the band's doing. Trying to keep that old school sound, but continue to push it so it has more of a modern approach to it. And we're excited about it. So
Cool, cool. Now, could you tell us a little bit about the Metal Up EP? Yes, how many tracks? Like, obviously, 8 tracks and everything. But could you tell us a little bit more about it?
yeah, I mean it's like I said, it has 8 tracks on it, and we we had some lineup changes over the last year. So we've actually have several bass players that were involved in this project. Um, in James, our original bass player. Oh, I lost something here. Hold on, there I am. No, maybe not. Did I lose you? I don't know.
And
Hold on.
yeah,
Let me
he's
see
still
if I
here.
can find something. Oh, there we go. We're back. Okay. So anyway, we have several bass players on there. We have James, our original bass player. He's doing some tracks. We have our new bass player, Matt Von Fleet. He's doing some tracks. We brought in a studio musician and a good friend of ours, Michael Kelly. He used to work for Gene Simmons. He's doing some bass tracks, and I actually do some bass tracks as well. So we got this hodgepodge of things, but I think that adds a little bit of that extra flair to it, makes it kind of exciting. But I don't want to say that it's heavier than our normal stuff or whatever. But over the last couple of years, I know people have said that the music has gotten darker, and I think that maybe it's just a nicer way of saying maybe it's gotten a little heavier in some regards. Maybe it's more progressive in some aspects too. But to us, it's just Corners of Sanctuary music, and we're excited to have it out. We're excited to have it exclusively available CD because we did a pre-sale of autographed discs. We sold out of them, and we got another batch coming in of just non-autographed CDs. But I'm sure if you come to a show and you buy something, we'll autograph it for free. That's not a problem. But so we're excited about it. We really are.
That's cool.
Cool, cool. So, are you going to release any more singles from the EP?
Yeah, I mean the label wants to do the what's that thing? The new thing is called the waterfall method, right? Where they just like one single after another over the course of like every 6 to 8 weeks. That's kind of the plan right now. I'm not exactly sure that that's where the band wants to go. We had a little bit of an issue with our Christmas song digitally. And I'm not real excited about digital. That's kind of why we pushed the CD pre-sale, and the whole album did not drop digitally when it released, or the whole EP rather didn't drop digitally when it released yesterday, and it was only available in CD format. I mean, we're an old school band. I mean, not just in sound, but in age as well. I mean, our model has always been we go out and we play, and we sell physical merchandise. We sell physical CDs, our albums, and that's always been a positive for us. We're not. I mean, we're not shying away from the digital format. I mean, we understand that it has to be done, especially in today's age. But our demographic of listeners, for the most part, 90% of them don't do digital. So I'm not seeing how it's really helping us in the long run, in my opinion. But I realize that we have to do it. So I'm not sure if we're going to, I mean, I guess we'll do another, for sure, definitely a second single will go out digitally, but I don't know if the whole album or the whole EP rather will go. I'm not a fan of it. So we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that because I know that there's a lot of people out there, myself, like myself, who do like to have the physical merchandise, whether it be a T-shirt or a CD or whatever it is. Because I'm sort of like in a similar age with to you, Mick, where I grew up on vinyl, cassettes, CDs, that type of thing. And yeah, I can understand that there's like understand where you come from, where you can actually who people who do like the physical formats of CDs and stuff. So
Yeah, I think that the metal community as a whole definitely gravitates towards the physical merchandise of bands, right? Whether they just use it as a collector's piece or they actually, listen to it, or a little bit of both. And then I guess if they get something that the band has signed or it's an exclusive or something like that, that's even, something more that they'll, gravitate towards. But I mean, I realize that, again, like bands like Metallica and artists like Taylor Swift and so on and so forth. I mean, they have high numbers and streams and stuff on Spotify. That's just because, at the same time of who they are and they've been around for a great number of years. But for the rest of us, the guys in the pit, streaming doesn't really help us. I mean, yeah, it gets us kind of out there, but we're in an oversaturated market anyway. And unless somebody really knows what they're looking for, or they're kind of funneling into looking for your band, you're just kind of lost in the shuffle. So having that opportunity to play live and then to, chat with the audience afterwards at your table, and then you can give them some kind of physical merchandise is to me so much more important. Yeah, we're never going to have those numbers that these other artists have, but as we're building an audience, I mean, and even after like almost 14 years, we're still building an audience. I mean, unfortunately, during the COVID time, everybody lost an audience. And again, as a band that played out, that couldn't rely on streaming, we lost an audience. And that audience changed once the doors opened up again, because venues changed and venues closed and people decided, hey, I'm not going out anymore. This is just a waste of time. As at least over here, things are going out the roof. Inflation's crazy. It's not cost effective to go out if you don't have to. So, we're just trying to find a model that is sustainable for the long term, that actually benefits the band, so it can move us from point to point. And for me right now, streaming does not move us from point to point. It's just something that we have to do, but I don't get any big checks from it. I mean, so it's what's the point? What's the point of doing it? You know who gets the checks from it? All the labels that have all the bands on it. They're the ones that get to collect the streaming thing, and then they funnel it down to the bands with a rap sheet of, hey, this cost us this, this, and this. So, but they can't take any. At least for us, they can't take anything from our live or physical stuff. So to me, that's most important. So if you're in a band, play live and sell your stuff at the table. Figure out a way to do it. That's the way to do it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yes. Plus, plus the fans would get like something nice in the hands.
Hey,
where,
like our singer says, take a piece of us home with you, in a little, in a nice way.
yeah.
It doesn't
yes.
require you to get a shot or anything. Yeah, you don't have to get any shot, take any medication, go to the doctor. It's, you get to take one of these home with you. It's safe, it's secure. If you don't like it, you can use it as a coaster.
Oh yes.
No body parts,
Oh yeah.
though.
That's right. No body parts. Go home with you.
Yeah. Speaking of staying with like the merchandise, is there any plans on putting the extended EP on vinyl?
The band has talked about it, so there is a possibility that may happen before the end of the year. It's probably going to be something that comes from an internal decision with the band rather than from the label. Again, it's hard pressed, because they don't really recoup on the physical stuff because they're not out there selling it like we are. So it may be something that we would do. That we do know that that the turnaround time for vinyl has gotten way better. Like at one point, just a couple years ago, it was like almost 8 to 10 months lead time before you could get your vinyl back. Now I think they can do it within 6 to 8 weeks, which is much better. And the price is starting to come down. So as the price comes down for the bands, the price will come down for the for the listener as well. So that's what we hope. So we'll see. But it is definitely something that's on our list.
Yeah, I was going to say that I would say a good 10 years ago that they were phasing out vinyl and they're starting to shut the presses down.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, about 5-6 years ago, they started to have a resurgence in the resurgence in vinyl, and so the people were scrambling to reinstate all the presses up.
Sure. Yeah.
So now, with the popularity of vinyl, it's starting to people are starting to see that more and more vinyl coming to the shops, coming to the gigs and stuff like that. It's plus, yeah.
Well, as the collector market on old vinyl started to go up, people started realizing, hey, there's something here again, right? There's something, it's not just nostalgia, but then the labels and some of the big boys started to realize, hey, these are special merch packages that we can put together and really make something on. And so that's where I think that's why you've seen a major resurgence from top to bottom, people wanting to do vinyl. I mean, for my era, right, being on vinyl was like, oh my God, this is incredible. You could smell it, you could look at it, you stared at it for like hours on end trying to find something as you listen to it play. So I don't know if it's the same feeling for younger generations about vinyl, but I know for us older folk, especially again in the metal community, vinyl is just something that's so unbelievably cool. Even in today's digital age, right? To me, it still seems much more legitimate than just having a song streaming on your computer. Like, here, I got this album. You know what I mean? To me, that's just kind of cool.
Yeah. Obviously, as you know, I do a radio show. I've got like something like 5,000 bands on my computer. And yeah, I do the streaming. Obviously, I do the streaming sites and stuff like that. But it's like I'm sort of like the similar age, where I can remember. I've got like I wouldn't say a huge vinyl collection, but I've got like a decent sized vinyl collection where I can actually physically sit down and actually look at it whilst, like I said, whilst listening to the
Right,
vinyl.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Plus, to
I mean,
me,
I kind of
yeah,
collect vinyl. I started collecting vinyl again a number of years ago, but I was collecting it as a performer who's a fan, so that anytime I played with a band that had vinyl, and I don't know if I have any. I have some on the wall, but it's like over here. Some. Well, I have like Saxon and Striper and Britney Fox, and I got Attacker over here with Bob Mitchell. You just recently chatted with Bob Mitchell,
yeah,
and Bob's a great guy, good friend. We've toured with Bob. We've actually slept at his house. He's put us up several times. We were coming through where he's at. So I got the raw, so I get, like a fanboy, I get these guys to sign them because I think it's really cool to have, and it just makes the vinyl to me more valuable. Right? Not that I'm going to go out and sell it, but I mean, I'm just saying for my personal collection, that my kids will probably inherit and then throw away. So what difference does it make, right? At the end of the day, but it's fun. It really is fun.
Hopefully
yeah,
not. Hopefully
I brought. I mean, I remember when I had found a. This is just a side story. We played with the Bullet Boys a couple times, and I found a 7-inch release of Smooth Up In You or something like that. And when I was talking with Mark and I had him sign it, he couldn't believe, like, he hadn't seen it in years. You know what I mean? Like, he was like, "Oh wow, this is incredible," But the same thing happened when I was with because we played with Grim Reaper a couple times too, and Steve, may his soul rest in peace. There was a clear single of "See You in Hell" that I picked up from a collector myself, and I got it really cheap. I don't think they knew what they had, but I had Steve sign it and all, and that was really cool. So Steve was a great guy. We worked with him during the early part of COVID. We did the Here and Now project where we had some artists from all over the world get together and put this song together to help raise some money and awareness for for the people that were hit immediately from the COVID pandemic and the shutdown and stuff. So that was a great time. Yeah, but I kind of went off on a tangent. So
yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Yeah. So, where can people find where can people find you on social media so they can actually turn around and say, "Oh, Mick, where are you playing next, or when's the next single we're going to drop, or where can I buy the physical merch from?"
sure. You go to cornersofsanctuary.com. That pretty much has everything. It has our tour dates. It has some merch on there, but most of our merch is exclusive to the shows. We do advertise on Facebook, like if a new piece of merch comes in, and if people want to get a hold of it earlier. But social media is kind of like up to the minute type of thing. Like primarily, it's Facebook or Instagram for us. We do have we have Twitter or X or whatever it's called now, and a couple other ones, but they're the two primary ones. But you can go to cornersofsanctuary.com and go from there, and stay up to date with us or whatever. And we got a couple shows coming up before the summer kicks in. We're supposed to be going to Canada this July, and we're talking about a West Coast tour here in America in the later bit of the fall, but we'll see. We are actually in the process of working on a follow-up EP that maybe comes out in the fall too, as we're still working on our full-length album as well. So it's kind of, and then before it's going to be August, and we're going to have to start working on our holiday song. So there's always something going on. Always something going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was going to ask about the are you writing new material, but you've basically
All
pretty
the
much
time.
answered that.
All the time. Here's the funny thing. Like, speaking of the Christmas song, I mean, we released that the Get on the List released in November of 2023. And it actually just broke the the label just told us it broke the just this week. The Indie World Top 100 came in at 99. Like, so it's still being, like, I don't understand. I mean, I'm glad that it's still being played. Listen, and if it was Christmas every day, I would love that. So if anybody that follows me knows that I love Christmas unbelievably. But I just find it to be crazy that the song's still being played. Like, we stopped promotion for it on January 6th, and we moved into the EP promotion. So, but the fact that it's still going on, that just tells you the world needs as much joy as it possibly can, right? So,
oh yes,
Christmas every day, baby.
oh yes.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Hey, listen,
so,
again, as an indie band, we'll take it wherever we can get it. If people want to hear Christmas songs all year, then I'll start writing Christmas songs all year, whatever.
It's awesome.
Oh yeah. I've been playing. You've wrote what? You've sort of like did a couple of songs that are cover songs, such as "Breaking the Law" by Judas Priest. Is there any other plans on doing sort of like cover songs?
Yeah, well, so last August, our first release on our new label, Sode Records, we had put all the cover songs together, and we added a few more to kind of make it a complete EP, and they've done pretty well considering. In the last two, we did a cover of the Osmonds' "Crazy Horses," and we did Warrant's "Inside Out," and both of them, charted, which we were completely ecstatic about, but we were shocked at the same time because we didn't really plan to promote them. Again, we're an original band primarily. We did it for fun, and we wanted an initial release with the new label and get something out there. So we figured the cover songs would do it because we had already been working on the new EP and stuff. So because of the success of it that we didn't plan on, because for us, and I mean, not to sound whatever to the people that do play covers, we didn't get into this business to play covers. It was to write our own material. It's always been like that. But we figured after all these years, I mean, I think we've established that we can write our own material. So we wanted to have some fun, and we wanted to do songs that we like. So there is talk, because of the success of Taking Cover and those songs, that we may do a Taking Cover 2, and we do have some songs in mind that we want to cosify and and beef them up a little bit and see how it goes. So we don't be surprised. You'll probably see something. Listen, you can't. With two things we learned from COVID: if you can't beat them, open for them. If you can't beat them, cover them. So that's what we're doing. That's the only way you're going to stay alive in this industry anymore. So.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. True. Yeah. True. Yeah. So yeah, I know you've got sort of like limited time there here, Mick. So any final words or any final things you want to say before you sort of like got to jump off?
Well, listen, I appreciate you having me on. It's always a pleasure. I mean, you've been supportive of us for years. It's great. When we were out in the UK the last time you came out and seen us, that's even cooler. So I appreciate that. The band appreciates it. And like I said, the new EP is out. If you want a CD copy of it, we have all the links and everything on our website, Facebook page. You can scan a little QR code, and it'll take you right to it. I think it's $12, and that includes shipping. Now, for you guys overseas, you may have to contact us to work out the difference in because your Royal Post or whatever you call it, they're pricey, man. They are pricey.
Oh yes.
But listen, we can get it to work. If you want it, we'll get it out to you somehow. Check out the new single, Hunter Prey. It's available now on Spotify and all your download stuff, digital downloads. And we have an audio visualizer video on YouTube as well. So check it out. Appreciate it.
Yeah, cool. And guys, go check out Corner Sanctuary. They are absolutely amazing band. Not only with like the studio stuff, but actually live as well. and I can attest to that. I saw Corners last year, and they are brilliant live. Even better live.
Thank you.
Cool.
So, Mick, thank you for coming on and doing this little podcast with myself and Lisaboo there.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It was great seeing you both. Thank you.
Thanks, Mick.
Yeah. And go check. I'll
Nice
put the
to meet
links
you.
in there. Yeah, and I'll put the links into Corners down in the description. If you want, go check them out. Go check them out.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. Have a good one.
Thank
You
you.
too. Thank you. Thank
Bye-bye.
you for
Take
coming
care,
on.
Mick.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. And that was Mick Michaels from Corners Sanctuary, from the guitarist from Corners Sanctuary. Hey,
Hi,
Marcella.
Marcella.
How you
Love
doing?
you.
Yeah, it's good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, and if you want to, hey up, Dan. I saw you there.
You thought he
Dan's
was
my
a-
nephew.
Hi, Dan.
He's my nephew. And thank you to Mick for coming on and actually to do that little interview type of thing. Yeah, unfortunately, you did, Marcel, but you can always rewind or catch up later. Yeah, I did. Yeah. So yeah, let's get back into to what we've been here. So Lisa sent me over 3 bands, and yeah, whilst Lisa's sucking on that coconut
Yeah,
juice.
I come.
Love you too, Marcella.
It's a coconut water thing. I have to have it.
Yeah, true. But yeah. So the 3 bands that our gorgeous Lisaboo here sent over are. Let me just get
You're
the
gonna have
titles.
me blushing again. Oh,
Oh,
thank you.
yeah,
Coconut
like I
water.
said. Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I said, our gorgeous Lisaboo here sent us over 3 bands. The bands are Bridge the Gap, uh, Whom Gods Destroy, and Into the Tempest. So, I will post the links in the to the each video and the Instagram pages in the chat and in the description there. I forgot to put them in because I was in a bit of a rush today. The first band is Bridge the Gap and their song Revenant. Now, if you like your punk bands, you're gonna love Bridge the Gap. When I listened to it, when I listened to the band and the song, I liked it because of everything about. Oh yeah, Dan, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love
See
Bridge
you
the
later,
Gap.
Marcella. Love you.
Catch you later. Catch you later, Marcella. Yeah, because now everything with this band I really liked, and everything about the song is well written, well performed by the band. And when I heard the song, I was like, it's got a little bit touch of Green Day. For it's just a smidge, just a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really truly like that band.
I have to say something, Mel. Just as you
Yeah,
said that, Green Day was one of their inspirations.
cool,
Yeah.
cool.
So yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So
That's
yeah.
what I picked up on. That's what I picked up on. It's got like a slight Green Day to the vibe of the song.
Yeah.
So the band's name is called Dan is Bridge the Gap. It is the video to the video Revenant.
Yep.
Um, when Stringo plays ball.
And as well,
And if you got Instagram, it's yeah.
I was just gonna say it comes from the album Secret
Yeah.
Combinations with a K.
Yeah. Do you know where they're from?
They're from Utah in the States, in United States.
Cool. Yeah, I've put the link to the video Revenant and their Instagram page. So if you want to go check them out, guys. So yeah. Anything else about? Do you know anything about the band Bridge the Gap?
It's funny because their label is People of Punk Rock Records. That's their label. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've heard the label before.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've heard the label before.
Yeah, and
So,
that album just came out 4 months ago. So, well, I guess it would be just over 4 months ago now.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. So the next band that Lisa sent over is a band called Whom Gods Destroy, and their band and their song Crawl. Now, Lisa, what have you done here? What have you done here? I totally love this band. Totally love this band here.
I'm glad. I love them too.
Yeah. Yeah. So now this band here is absolutely brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant because it combines sort of it's a bit like a bit of prog, bit of sort of like heavy metal, bit of metal, and a few other bits and pieces in there. A few other genres in there.
Yeah.
Now, when I first saw when I started the video, to actually watch it, and I was like thinking, "Whoa!" Now that is going back to some old school synths, from Yes or Rush time period, or even that. Yeah, so I was like thinking, "Whoa!" And I was like, that's when the drums kicked in. I was like, what's going on? What's going on? I was like, oh, okay. And then I saw the guitars kick in as well with like the double guitar. I was like, oh yes. I was like, what's going on here? I don't get us wrong. I totally love it. Totally love this. Totally love the song. I was like, wow, everything about it was absolutely brilliant. God, I was like, when the guitarist going throughout the song, I was like, the guitarist did some amazing solos. I mean, proper amazing solos on the song. And then when he was sort of like finger picking, I was like, he's good. He's probably good. And sort of like, I was like, damn. So, and again, the bassist again on this in the band is absolutely amazing. He's brilliant. So yeah, and what can I say about the singer? He's got that sort of like late 80s, early 90s sort of like the sort of like well, he's got a sort of like a hint of Bruce Dickinson in his vocals style. He's nowhere near Bruce Dickinson level, but he's got like sort of like he's got a hint of Bruce Dickinson there,
Yeah.
and
That's what I
he's
thought.
also got like yeah. Plus, he sort of like reminds me of Chris Cornell as well. In sort of like that sort of like grungy Soundgarden,
Yeah.
Faith. I wouldn't say Faith no more, but sort of like got that Soundgarden vibe
Yeah.
type of thing
Yeah.
to his vocal style, but with a touch of Bruce Dickinson in there.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Oh, I'm glad you liked them.
yeah.
Yeah. They they're more of a
So
progressive metal. Yeah.
yeah,
And they're a five
that's
piece.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I picked up on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're a 5-piece band, so oh Dan just said
Yeah.
something.
Do you know? It said on the Instagram post that the next tomorrow that Dan, I want to see you tomorrow. I'm going to see you tomorrow. So be warned. So be warned. I'm seeing you tomorrow. So yeah, that's it. You know that you know that Bruce Dickinson is my favorite. Uh, you know that Bruce Dickinson is my favorite metal singer of all time. But anyway, joke aside. So yeah, yeah, really cool band. So Lisa, I did see on their Instagram. I think it was they were they're from the Alps. Do you know which?
Sorry, Al, you cut out. I didn't hear you.
Oh yeah. Do you know? Do you know where they're from? Was I did see on their Instagram page that they're from the Alps. I think it was them.
I I'm not sure, Al. I'm not gonna say yes because I'm not sure. I didn't write it down. I was gonna write it down, but I forgot to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know worries. Really good. Like I said, they're really good band.
Yeah, they're really good.
Catch you later, Dan. Catch you
Bye,
later.
Dan. Look out for tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah. All joking aside, I love me. He's oh Dan. We've got like a bit of a banter with me now, Dan. So
I know.
yeah, so yeah,
I'm
it's
kidding
like
you.
and it's just like he knows I'm just messing. Oh, we lost Lisa. She'll be back in a second. Yeah, Dan, really. Yeah. It's a really good band there. With so I will try and put the link in the Instagram page. So if you want guys, if you want to follow 'em, go and follow 'em. Right, okay, Lisa. So yeah, there's the Instagram page, and he's the link to the crawl video. So there we go. So yeah, the next band is the band called Into the Tempest with their song "Black Is All," and here's Lisa here.
Sorry,
Hey up, Lisa.
sorry, my
Yeah,
internet
no
is
worries.
being,
Can't be,
my
can't,
internet is being a bit of a
yeah,
div.
can't be helped. Yeah, technology, don't you just love it?
Sometimes no.
Yeah. Sometimes you just love to put the boot up up the technology's backside and say, "Pat it in, stop it, behave yourself."
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we just like I say, we're just about to go into the third and final band that sent over. The band Into the Tempest with their song "Black Is All." So yeah, again, Lisa, what have you done? What have you done? I like this band. I like this band. So yeah, I love the sort of like the intensity of this band. Not as like sort of like in your face intensity or in like brutal intensity, but intensity none the same. If you don't mind. So yeah, the drums and the guitars actually work really well with this one. I really like it. I really like the way the actual drums and the guitars play off each other. And yeah, I've also like the guitarist that's it's got some really cool solos in there. Um, and the bassist, it's got it's got like really good steady bass line throughout the song. And really like it. And the vocalist is pretty cool as well. So yeah, really good band, a really good song, really good band. So yeah, have you got any more info? Have you got any info on the band there, please?
Um, basically, I think I think there it says Death Magnetic Moments is their. Um, I think that's their. What am I trying to say here? Their label. So yeah. Um,
Yeah,
basically, I like the harmony. They have really good transitions too with the song. And the end of the song
yeah,
had a really nice softer part to it. So yeah.
yeah. Cool, cool. Yeah, it's a really good band, really good band. So yeah, that's sort of like my sort of like a live review of the three bands. So yeah, thank you, Lisa, for sending this over. And I will play all three bands on this Thursday's show. So yeah, I will get a hold of it. I know I've got a hold of God's Destroys song Crow. Um, as soon as I can find it, I will get the other two bands and play them on the show as well. So yeah, so stay tuned for this Thursday's Project Metal Across the Pond over on the Digital Revolution Radio. And finally, we are back to normal on the times as of tomorrow. So for the UK listeners, I'll be starting at 6 p.m. UK time. And for the US, I'll still be starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time of the US.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's over on digitalrevolutionradio.com. So you hear it loud and clear. So yeah, yeah. So that's sort of like our little segment for the review, for the live reviews. So Lisa,
Hmm.
you've been on a journey
Yes,
through the Revenant Feist books.
I sure have been.
Yeah. So you're still on the second book of
Yeah,
the Empire trilogy.
yes, I'm still on it. I
Yeah,
kind of,
which
sorry, I
yeah,
kind of slowed down this week.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
So yeah, so what's your up to now? Without giving in too much away, what are your thoughts on the book up to now?
well, it's quite a journey for her, for Mara, and it's basically continuing on for Mara, Mara's journey. Um, it's it's still a roller coaster. It's still finding out new things about her world. Um, yeah, I kind of slowed down a bit this week for reading, but I'm still reading every day.
Cool,
I
cool.
just can't stay up till 3 in the morning anymore.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing
I,
with Feist. He just drags you in, kicking and screaming. And then by 1 minute it could be like 4 p.m. in the afternoon. Next minute it'd be 4 a.m. the next morning.
yeah, yeah, and getting up at 6 or 7 the next morning. It no, it's too. It takes too much out of me. I had to slow down a little bit. I wanted to
Yeah,
read more. I wanted to, but my body was saying, "Okay, listen to me. Here I am. You need to listen to
yeah,
me."
yeah, yeah. It's like he's one of those types of writers where you will drag you in, kicking and screaming. And said, "You've got to read this book. You've got to read it. You've got to
Yeah,
finish it. Doesn't
yeah.
matter. It doesn't matter what time of the day it is. You are going to read it."
Oh, last week it was catching up to me, so I'm like, okay, my body's telling me you need to slow down.
Yeah,
So I had to listen. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, like, yeah, sort of like overall, um, how are you finding the Empire books up to now?
I love
In
them.
like overall, yeah,
I love them.
yeah,
I love them. They like we talked about. Excuse me, last week. It's like two worlds, and this is seeing the other side and of a different world. So you're getting you're kind of getting the understanding of why the Surani are like they are. You're figuring, like finding out about the honor system, how honor is so important to them, and through Mara's eyes, basically. Um, yeah, so it's very interesting finding out
Yeah,
about a different culture, basically.
yeah. It's sort of like you do understand. You do sort of like get to understand a little bit more. Well, I would say a hell of a lot more. Why the Sunni actually started this war with leukemia.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So yeah, and and sort of like delve into all the politics and the like Lisa said the honor system, the and all this. It's
Yeah.
sort of like and it's sort of like her journey,
Hmm.
trying to
Yeah.
basically trying to sort of like trying to like sort out um her sort of like trying to sort out not only her house, which is a coma, and trying to sort out the political system
Yeah.
actually in the Empire of Ceremony.
Yeah. Yeah.
So basically, it's like I said, it is literally like a minefield for her, and it's in places it can be brutal. Would you agree? Up to
Yes.
now?
Um, I I do agree. He's very he's not graphic, um, but some parts can be a little difficult. You can skip over a little bit of it and not have to worry about missing anything. I appreciated that part of it where he wasn't like really graphic. You kind of use your own imagination in some of it. But yeah, he's very artful in his the way he writes. So
Yeah, yeah. That's it's just one of the reasons why I like Feist. He sort of like doesn't really. He writes in sort of like a sympathetic way about certain subjects,
yeah,
but he gives you enough information, but not too much information if you know what I mean.
oh
Because I
yeah,
know that I know there's certain writers out there who will dive head first into every single detail
yeah,
just for the shock of it.
yeah. And for some people, that's very triggering and very it's not good for their for their mental health and stuff to be reading.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
um, but you can, like I say, you can skip over some parts if it gets too much for you. Um, so yeah, he was very artful in his the way he wrote.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. We are sort of like we're not sort of like giving too much away, but in certain parts you've got to be really careful because
yeah,
it deals with certain subjects that like can sort of like trigger a few people. So be
yeah,
warned if you're going to sort of like delve into the world of Rimley Feist and the Riffle cycle.
yeah,
Be mindful he touches upon certain subjects that can cause that can trigger a few people.
yeah,
So
yeah.
be
That's the
warned.
thing. We don't want to give away too much because then people that want to read the books, then we're not giving away any of the major plot points and stuff. Um, as well too. with the books and stuff. Especially with this new world, we kind of touched on it where there's like the 5 main clans, basically the 5 main houses. But there's also, they call it the council, that it's basically their law. It's these 5 houses are part of the council, and it's like a game, the game of the council that they play. So, and
Yeah.
it's a lot like politics in our countries and stuff, where it's like a game where it's like they're trying, like a political part of it. They're trying to gain favor from other houses, um, and stuff. So that's part of it, right? And we didn't really touch on that council part,
Yeah.
because the
Yeah.
5
That's
houses, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, the 5
Yeah.
houses are part of the council.
Yeah. That's the thing. I can't think of the name at the minute, but basically you got like yeah, you got 5 main families because well, put it this way: if I say if I say what where those 5 families come from, it will give a major plot line away. It will give a major plot line away. But there's basically five families, 5 major families, and they sort of like are the first 5 families, like sort of like what you call First Nations, if you know
Yeah,
what I mean.
yeah,
And sort of like they are the ones that you if you want sort of like anything done, you basically go to them. Whether it be trade or an alliance, or you become a vassal,
yeah,
a vassal of, or if you sort of like know the Japanese sort of like the feudal sort of like structure of
yeah,
certain societies,
yeah,
these 5 families are the powerhouse, the powerhouses.
yeah, yeah,
So basically, if you wanted to say, for instance, if you want to go into say produce production or silk production or anything, any sort of like trade, you say, right, I need to go to this particular house and sort of like try and broker a deal with them, so I
yeah,
can actually get access to certain markets, if you know what I mean.
yeah,
So basically, and it is a minefield. Like I said, it is a
yeah,
pure minefield
yeah.
because
And
it's
to
yeah,
further confuse it, they have political parties. Like they have their actual political parties that are part of the council, and it's like a feudal system where it's like the emperor, and then the warlord basically, and then the council. So it can get a little confusing. That's why I write things down.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah, yeah. That's the best. That's probably going to be the best way to, especially when you're new to the
yeah,
not only to Rimini fight, but to like because it will take a while before you sort of like before you before you really start because before you start remembering things, or because basically there's that many different threads going throughout the whole series of books. It's unreal.
yeah, yeah,
It's sort of
and
like everything is interwoven with each other, if you
yeah,
know what I mean.
yeah, yeah. And I find it fascinating that it's like on Earth, like how they have the different systems where there's the rich, and then there's like the different parts of society, right? Where it's like the rich and then there's not so rich and then, you know, and they all are part of this system, and there's slaves and there's, you know, like, and it's like history.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah.
yeah. It's like, yeah, it's you'd be surprised at how feist will be, or feist with like other authors like Johnny Wirtz who wrote the Empire books, or with or any of the other authors, because he's wrote three other books which basically tie in with the Rift War saga,
Yeah.
because there's altogether they got obviously Raymond Feist is the writer, the main writer. Then you've got Johnny Watts who wrote the Empire books, and then he's got like the Legacy of the Rift War. With he wrote like three separate books which tie in within the Rift War, at the actual Rift War itself. You've got Murder in the Mutt, Honoured Enemy, and Jimmy the Hand.
Yeah.
And they sort of like tie in with the Rift War.
Yeah, and this is the one that I'm on right now, still,
Yeah,
just so they
yeah,
can see.
yeah. So yeah, it's like I said, it's sort of like all these writers sort of like these writers sort of like went out, looked to sort of like history, taking certain parts of this history and sort of like weave into like the fantasy setting type of thing.
Yeah.
It's like with like with the Sunni, they are sort of like the a fantasy version of sort of like China and Japan, going back up to the 19th century, where
Yeah.
like the feudal system,
Yeah.
whether it be whether it be sort of like the different class systems
Yeah.
within sort of like the culture, where whether it be sort of like I just watched the documentary. I wouldn't say you know the guy. Some of the listeners might know. Legal Prices.
Yeah.
He does like he's an American lawyer living in Korea, working for a law firm over there who do sort of like maritime law, and one of the he did a sort of like one maritime Monday. He does a series that he does on the Monday where he does everything related to maritime, and
Hmm.
what that entails. So one of the no, it wasn't Legal Prices. It was a different channel, similar same. They called the Natasha and Debbie Show. Really good channel, really good channel. They do like sort of like a lot of sort of like they do like because they've got like English like UK ancestry. They sort of like been reacting to like different aspects of the British of the UK life,
Yeah.
and one of the shows that just came out last week, I think, where they did where they did a little story where who was the first American US citizen to actually get a Victoria Cross, which is what the highest honour in the British Army. It's a bit like the Purple Heart. I think it's equivalent to the Purple Heart in the US. And this particular, I can't remember the guy's name, but the first American was who received the first PC, the first Victoria Cross, was back in 1864, where he was a sailor for the British Navy over in Hong Kong, and he moved about a bit for different ships, and it was like there was this big battle, a big battle in southern Japan, in between this particular strait, and he said that he distinguished himself where he went up against this Japanese warlord of down in southern Japan, where this particular warlord, we had like said, right, that's it. Nothing, nobody's getting past. Nobody, we're not trading. We are it was sort of like insular type of thing. It was, because Japan at the time were sort of like didn't allow outsiders into Japan, and basically said that this particular warlord just like said, "Screw the emperor. I don't know. I don't nothing out. I don't want nothing to do with the outside." So it basically, as the, I think it's a naval term, repel borders. So basically all the cannons and stuff like that, he was like blowing the crap out of not only the British Navy, also the US Navy and the French Navy and the Dutch along this coast part of where his land was, and so basically the guy, so he said, right, we need to do something here. We need to do something here. So the one of the ship's commanders said, right, okay, came up with a plan. Where basically a bit like the Normandy landings on D-Day, where they just got a load of ships, stormed the beach, run up to the go and to overtake the position. So basically, this particular guy, he went in first, did a recon, got shot in his leg with a bow and arrow, with an arrow. Managed to do a runner because he was getting chased by the locals. Go back to his commanding officer, told what he saw, and basically says, "Screw this! I'm not going to go. I'm going to go back in again." And he ran and he went in back in again, and basically he all guns blazing type of thing, and basically.
I'm listening. I'm just going to get the kitty.
Yeah. So basically, the his commanding officer went down, got shot. Hello, little kitty. Hello, little kitty. Yeah. So he basically rescued his commanding officer, pulled him back to safe lines, and he went back in again, captured the warlord and everything. So basically, the sort of like a few took this. So like I said, like the like I said, the writers sort of like took elements from stuff like that and put in like sort of like a fantasy setting and actually interwove it and sort of like how can I put this? Make it sort of like a really good story out of it. So
I'm trying to listen. I'm listening really well.
yeah,
Play with my headphones. Play the earbuds.
little
Somebody,
kitty,
you want to go down? Okay, there it goes. You had to come up.
little
I don't know if
kitty.
you could see him or not, but
Yeah,
yeah,
did you? Little kitty.
he finally woke up.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's like yeah, like I said, it's like they're taking that these rights take a lot of historical um, sort of like a lot of historical facts, a lot of historical stories, and actually interweave it into the actual the narrative of the Rift cycle. And you do see a
Hmm.
lot of like different comparisons from different comparisons to this world actually written into the different in different parts of the Rift cycle.
Yeah.
So
I also drew kind of a comparison to like the Samoan culture, like in Hawaii and stuff. Just how they explain their builds and stuff. It reminded me a lot of like the Samoan culture. How they're they're very muscular. They're shorter, but they're muscular. Um, I don't know. I just kind of had that comparison in my mind, thinking of it too. Like
yeah,
yeah, along with the
yeah,
Japanese and Chinese cultures and stuff.
yeah. Sort of like with like the architecture, because it's like sort of like a hot planet where the Empire of Surrey is. It's like down near the equator, and
Yeah.
they're sort of like got the architecture is sort of like very similar, primarily to the Chinese. Sort of like if you see the traditional, see some of the traditional buildings of Japan, like with the screen, paper screen doors, and the sand, the or some of the fashion, right, with the kimonos and wooden
Silk.
sandals and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
And the silk.
Yeah,
And with the silk and that too.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Mind you, being it from not a silkworm, but from a choja.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's if you don't know what a chocha is, it's it's sort of like a giant, sort of like beetle type of thing, a giant insect,
Yeah.
which uh, obviously is the sort of like it's a bit like yeah, it's a bit like it's like yeah, it's giant sort of like ant or giant um well, it's a giant insect really.
I kind of
It's
I kind of had the picture of like a big bee too, because they have like different chojas, right? They have the different chojas where they have the silk, and then there's the ones with the wings that do like air conditioning.
yeah,
They they fly, and then
yeah,
there's the warriors, just like kind of like bee culture. You know how they have the queen,
yeah.
and then there's like that part of it.
Yeah, it's a combination of a lot of like sort of like hive insects, whether it be a bee, whether it be an ant, or whether it be a like a
Like a
termite
wasp.
or
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of like a hive. It's what you call a hive mind, basically,
Yeah.
because it's just not much of a plot. It's not much of a plot point, which is by just talking about the is like Mara sort of like got to know
Yeah.
the Kuja, and she sort of like I won't say too much because I need to stop where I need to stop because basically it's sort of like leading to something else,
Yeah.
which becomes a major plot point.
Yeah.
Sort of like she gets to know over time the Kuja because she visits um, the Kuja on her land, the Akuma estates, and sort of like gets to know certain aspects of the Kuja society. Uh, sort of like how they actually interact with each other, how the workers between the workers, the warriors, and everything, and how to communicate and how the communicate with each other, not only in that particular hive, but with the other hives throughout the through the empire as well.
Yeah.
But that's where I need to stop
Yeah.
because if I go any further, I will literally mess up a major plot point later on.
Yeah.
So
I
that's where I need to
yeah.
stop.
I think I know where you're going, so I won't say
Yeah.
anything.
So
Yeah.
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 So yeah, it's really interesting how they actually came up with the Kuja. So yeah, and how they actually like how the like sort of like humans interact with the insects type of thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's
so
fascinating.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
fascinating.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's yeah, it's every time I read the Empire books, I always, even though I've read them countless times, it's sort of like it's one of those. Yeah, I still like you. It's like you go through. Still, I still go through the emotions. It's still like saying because every time I read it, every time I read those three books, I always like sort of like find something tiny. You know, the tiniest little detail you
Yeah.
never realize when you've read it 2 3 times. It's just like thinking, oh damn, I'm out of that. I've read this countless times. I still find some tiny little detail where you know what I mean, where you
Yeah.
pick up on stuff. So yeah,
Yeah. Yes. That's why I know I'm probably going to read them and read them and read them and read them.
oh
I still
yeah,
have so many to go through. So,
yeah,
and I'm only on
yes.
what? One, two, how
Book
many am
five,
I? Out of
book five,
34,
uh,
32,
30,
34.
34 books. Yeah, it's like yeah, it's like it's like once you read them, you think I need to read them again, type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, at least, see, I know I can order the next book, right? For you, when you were reading them, you had to read them and then wait and wait and wait and wait for the next book to come out, which you're doing
Yeah,
now because of for the next
yeah,
one to come out, right?
which is out in
So,
August.
so for me, I can order the next book and know it'll be here. you know,
Yeah.
for you, you
Yeah.
had to.
Yeah. 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 That's the thing. That when I first started reading, back in 2001, I was sort of like in your position type thing because I was like sort of like started off with the Crondor books, but I got like there was about 12 books out prior to that, which was like the Rift Saga, which was Magician, Silverthorn, Darkness of Sephiroth, the Empire books, Prince of the Blood, um, King's Buccaneer, and the Silvermore Saga. Once I started to like sort of like read them, that's when I started to get on to Talon of the Silverhawk and so on and so forth, right up to where I am now, which is like the latest book, which is like King of the Furies. So now that I've got at the minute I can't afford to get the latest book, which is out in August, because of I can't afford it. But I've got to wait another about this time, sort of like next year, I believe, to get the paperback. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, paperbacks are fine because, like when I first started reading them, you suggested going to the library, but I wanted to have the physical copy in my hand, knowing that I'm not going to have to take it back.
yeah, it's like with that I always say that's why I said that don't spend any money just yet on a book because just in case that you didn't like it. And if you liked it, then I would say I would have turned around and said, if you liked it, then get it.
Yeah.
So basically, because if you didn't like it, yeah, you basically haven't spent any money, type of
Yeah.
thing. You know, like
Yeah.
so. Well, put it this way, I'm glad that you do like it. You do like the books?
Yeah. Well, I knew right away when I started reading. I was probably first chapter. I knew that I'd be ordering the next book.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's sort of like that first chapter of well, to me, it's called Magician. Yeah, it puts two books in one for me. It's the
Yeah.
Apprentice and Master,
Yeah.
and the first chapter of book one is where Pug is on the beach getting some seafood for the kitchen, for the castle, castle curatery, and it goes from there. And his sort of like near death experience, not only from the storm that hit the coastline, but as he was walking back, like hobbled back to the castle, he also gets sort of like nearly gouged by a wild boar,
Yeah.
which was scared of the because he was getting hunted down by Meacham, the Culkin's sort of like friend, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So that's when he sort of like pulled, Meacham pulled back to Culkin's sort of like forest dwelling,
Yeah.
and he's sort of like Culkin's sort of like sensed that Punk has got magical abilities because because Culkin going to look into a crystal ball and Punk was actually doing it and actually manipulating the crystal ball himself. So
Yeah. Well, it lit up. It lit up from.
yeah.
Yeah. That changed his life forever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes. That's just in the first chapter of Magician Apprentice.
Yeah.
So yeah, which that's far as I'll go for that. But anybody wants to read the book. So
I suggest you do because
yeah.
they're wonderful,
Oh yeah.
in my opinion.
Oh yes. Mine as well.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Oh yes. It's if you sort of like yeah like I said when for Lisa to actually to read the books, it's if you love Tolkien, you're gonna love Feist
Yeah.
because Feist takes the idea from Tolkien with like like a uh, fantasy tale, a fantasy story, and he runs with it
Yeah.
and he expands on it and
Yeah.
he's constantly expanding on it.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about the Lord of the Rings, and you started talking about Feist, so it was like, okay, I'm gonna have to check them out. I think that's the exact words I used. I'm gonna have to check them out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, because it was on the Monday night podcast.
Yeah.
This is why I started doing this. Said to Lisa, "Why don't you come on to the Saturday night podcast?" Because because every so often we sort of like me and Bastion sort of like discuss obviously rock and metal bands and gigs and what's coming on the show and on the YouTube channel and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we sort of like introduced sort of like every so often we talk about TV shows, movies, and literature, and that's how we got on talking to about Feist, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then end of Feist, Tolkien.
Tolkien. Yeah.
Going, yeah. So yeah, I said, I think I said if I said, and I'm sort of like paraphrasing here. It's just, if you like Tolkien, it's an author I've been waiting for a good number of years. Check out Feist.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you brought the book and you showed me the book, and that's when I saw that in the paperback version it was the basically cut into with the magician apprentice and the magician master. So I figured, okay, well, I'll I'll get the magician apprentice and see what I think. And yeah,
Yeah,
not
you
long
haven't looked
after
back
that, I
since.
was saying thank you.
Yeah, yeah, you haven't looked back yet. Yeah, since.
Yeah,
So yeah, it can't the books can be a bit grueling, especially in certain parts. Um, but it's sort of like it's sort of like it's a roller coaster
yeah,
in a massive way.
yeah,
In a massive way. It's a roller coaster. You
yeah,
ups and you got downs. You got you got mad rides. You got
yeah,
mad. It's it waves in and out. You go, and you just I think you might think that's where he's going, but no, it just fades off, and you just I think I didn't see that coming.
That's what I liked about it. I couldn't see where it was going, and like I said before, I've bought books where I knew how it was going to end. I knew how it was where it was going before I even got into like third maybe second chapter, and I knew where it was going to arc. And yeah, this
Yeah.
you can't see where it's going to go.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
yeah. That's the thing. It's like you thinking. I've been reading. Like I said, I've been reading Price for 23 years now, and after a while you sort of get to know where he's going, but he's just like thinking. I was like, he's sort of like instead of going like he's going to sort of like down the right hand side path, but he sort of like suddenly switches to the middle path. Then he sort of like switches to the left path and back over to the right one. And he's just like, but he sort of like, but he sort of like got to, I sort of like got to. It's not much of a sudden move, if you know what I mean,
Yeah.
a sudden shift. But he can sort of like telegraphs it a little bit. But he's sort of like he's still sort of like comes up with like these sudden shifts, if you know what I mean. Whether he sort of like it's like that last book I did that I read, the King of Furies. Um, I sort of like in the second book of the Fire Mail Saga, it's sort of like it was starting to lead up to certain things in book three, which is like the King of Furies,
Yeah.
and it's just like as soon I won't give it away, but as soon as he sort of like described a certain few things, he's just like thinking because I was like sort of like I was starting to think, yes, he's going to bring back certain characters in this, and it's just like he sort of like he sort of like telegraphed it, if you know what I mean. He sort of like telegraphed it, but I wasn't really at the time. I wasn't really paying too much attention.
Yeah.
But as soon as she said, "Oh, right, okay," but like I said before, I was talking to the guy in my local bookstore about it, and this is before. This is like sort of like with the Magician's End. He says, "Oh, what do you think about the new series that he's bringing out?" And I said to the guy, I says, "Look, I wouldn't. It's a shame that it has come to an end, the series, because it has been a wild ride. But I wouldn't be surprised if it did sort of like bring in certain elements or certain things back into the series."
Yeah.
And he has, because I won't spoil it for you, but yeah,
Yeah. That's
because so yeah, it's like once you get to the well, it's going to take you a while, but yeah, in the new Fireman saga is, oh god, it's brutal. It's full on brutal in some of the places. It's just like thinking, oh my god, what am I reading? Type of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a wild ride. It's a full on wild ride.
Yeah. Wow. I love the book. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, it's like, are you sort of like, are you looking forward to the Mistress of the Empire when you finish the Servant?
Oh yeah. I'm I'm okay. I'm just about, let's see here. I'm just about halfway, which isn't too bad, I guess. I've slowed down this last week, so
Oh,
it's a 700-page book. So yeah, I know.
oh,
Yeah, I know.
oh,
It's I can
oh!
it
There's something
yeah
coming up here.
yeah.
There's something coming up.
I I ha- I have a feeling what it is because I know what happened. I know what happened at the end. Well, at the end of, let's see, at the end of um,
Daughter.
magician
All right,
master.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm kind of wondering if it's gonna go together. Like I'm kind of seeing, where it may come to be because they're talking
Oh
about
yes,
going. Because they're talking
oh
about
yeah,
going to where the emperor is going to be, a certain
oh yeah,
gathering. So I'm
oh yes.
I'm kind of seeing where it's heading. So I kind of yeah. So
It's gonna be brutal.
so yeah.
It's gonna be brutal.
So yeah.
Oh
I'm
yeah, yeah. It's gonna be brutal
and I'm
for
trying not to stay
everybody.
up. Yeah, I'm trying not to stay up till 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing. That's the thing. Once you get past a certain point, you just like a certain
Yeah.
point of a book, you know it's starting to pick up, and it gets faster and faster and faster, and you just like it sort of like it gets to the point where like a roller coaster, you get to the top of the arc, and the front of the carriage just go over the top, and it's slowly and it's sort of like, then it starts to pick up.
Yeah.
Get prepared, strap in,
Yeah.
buckle up.
Oh,
It's gonna get wild.
yeah.
It's
Yeah, I can sense that it's starting to. So, yeah.
yeah, it's gonna get wild. It's gonna get wild and messy.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like yeah, it's one of those. And the third one, the servant, yeah, not servant, mistress.
Mistress, yeah.
Yeah, it's going. That's even more. That's even more wild.
Yeah. I
That's even more wild.
yeah. Well, got to finish this one first.
Yeah,
I'll I get so far into the book and then I order the next one, right? So then I have it. But last time I gave myself half a day reprieve
yeah,
till I got the next book.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. After you, I know it's like a bit far off now because you're halfway through the servant and you've got the he got the mistress to read. You did get the Prince of the Blood, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got that one because I thought that was the next one, but then I have it right for when
yeah,
I
yeah.
need.
But the technically you can read the Prince of the Blood, and then after that it's the King's Book of Name because they are literally in the timeline of the story. They are about 3-4 years apart, roughly, in the timeline of the story. But they came out like one after each other, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, but you don't have to read them. The Cronenberg books, which is just after. Technically, it's after um, about 10 years after Darkness of Sethanol, which is like between Sethanol and Prince of the Blood. But those three books are sort of like pivotal later on in the series, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Especially with the Serpent War Saga, because they literally introduce a couple of characters in there, which lead into technically the Cronenberg books came out in early 2000s, where the Serpent War Saga came out in the 90s, but they sort of like expanded those. Even though it was a computer game before they became books, they by sort of like expanded on sort of like the prequels to the Certain War Saga,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean, and they expanded on certain characters to actually explain the Certain War Saga, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, when you read it, you read the Crondor book first, and then went back to
Yeah,
the Magician.
yeah, I did.
So,
Yeah. It's like I was like when I first read the Crondor books, I was like thinking, who is these characters? Where did they come from? What is their history?
yeah.
How did they get to this point? Type of thing.
Yeah.
And so I thought, right, okay. Looked at the list of books in the front of the book, and I said, right, okay. Magician's the first one. So I went out and bought it, and that's when I really started to like explore the world of leukemia, explore the world of Kelowin,
Yeah.
explored the other worlds that Vice created.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm kind of I'm kind of stuck reading now because I don't want to. I'll be reading for the next how many years?
if you put it this way, it'd probably take you about, if you read on read at a steady pace, you're probably talking about a year. Yeah, about 2 years.
Yeah. Well, it's time well spent.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Thank you. I love reading, and I'm glad I got back into reading. This brought me back into reading, and I'm having so much joy reading again, basically. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
I'm glad.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad you're actually enjoying it.
Yeah.
I'm so glad
So,
you're actually enjoying it.
yeah, I'm. Yeah, it's something to look forward to too, right? I mean, I don't want to put it down at night. That's the problem. I have
Yeah,
to I have to be mindful and read like I have this last week. That's why I say I've kind of slowed down because I was reading it was how many days for me to read? 4 or 5, maybe 6 days. Not reading it all day kind of thing because I have other stuff I got to do.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, if I did that full time, then I probably could be done in like 2 days or a day, maybe 2 days.
yeah,
But
yeah. It's bear with me for 1 second there, listen. Bear with us. Yeah, right. Yeah.
hold on, guys. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe, share, comment. It really helps the channel.
I'm back.
All right.
Yeah. Get me these on. Now, this is The Prince of Blood, King's Buccaneer, and the Silk War Saga.
Yeah.
Well, put this way, that's some reading. That's pretty much about four. Hang on. See, the average size of the books is about 500 pages, and there's 6 books there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And those are the hard copies. Are they?
paperback.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The paperback.
Okay. Because this one, yeah, some of them have a little bit more pages. Like this one is thicker. This one's just about 700 pages. Most of them are probably about 500 or 600 pages.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It depends on the story. The story. Some of the books you're talking around about 350. Yeah, but others you're talking nearly 1,000.
Yeah.
Depending, it literally depends on the well, put it this way, it depends on the font size and the size of the page and stuff like that. Depending, some of the hardback books you're talking about 300 to 400 in the hardback. But you're talking in the paperback, you're talking my copy of the Magician, because it's 2 books in one.
Yeah.
You're talking about 900 pages.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I was thinking it would probably be about around 500, 600 for each one. But then I'm only on this book, so I don't have like that gauge of how many the other ones are going to be. So yeah,
Yeah,
this one is the thickest that I've had so far. So
yeah.
this one is
It's yeah
perfect.
the Empire books is because of Johnny Wirtz is probably obviously it's Remini Feist helping Johnny. But Johnny was sort of like the main sort of like writer type of thing for the Empire books, and he's packed in a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
Obviously,
I,
like Yeah,
I do find that they're very similar. Like he went along the same kind of lines as Feist with his writing. So when you go from one, like the first books to these books, you don't really see that much of a change or a difference. So even
yeah,
though even though it's Johnny Worth, it's yeah, he writes similar. So
yeah. It's sort of with Johnny, I should say.
yeah,
He sort of like he is in his own right a fantasy novelist. Because I have got some of these books. I've got some of these books as well. Outside of his contribution with Feist, and I've read some. I'm getting around to reading all the books that I've got. But like you said, he does write in a similar vein as
yeah,
Feist. So, like you said, there's hardly any different. There's sort of like some differences,
yeah, yeah.
but not
And
that many.
his verbiage and the words that he uses, there's a little bit of a difference, but his style is very similar. So it's not
Yeah,
like, oh, these books are written like this, and oh, what's with these are like so different. So yeah, it's very similar. So if you like the first ones, then you'll like these ones. So
oh yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It's like I said, he's very similar. Obviously they spoke to each other. And he says, right, this is Johnny said, right, this is the idea that I want. This is the idea. Um, I've read your first three books, and I've read The Magician. I've read the Silverthorn. I've read the Darkness of Setting. Can I do the sort of like the idea of the Sunni from their perspective?
yeah,
So basically, obviously, Feist and Wirtz basically got together and said, right, this Feist was, I'm assuming here, but this is from what I've read. This is right. This is the idea. Feist said, "This is my idea. What's your idea?" Wirtz told him, and sort of like, right, okay, and they worked together to actually came up with the Empire books.
yeah,
So basically, the obviously he Feist brought in like the leukemia side of things,
yeah,
and Wirtz brought in the Kelvin side of things.
yeah,
So and sort of like married together type of thing.
yeah. And I'm glad that I read these, like you said, to read them after basically the Rift War cycle, because I have that fresh in my mind. So this is like a continuation of
Yeah,
their part of it, their two worlds, right?
yeah,
From one
yeah,
world to another, like what was happening at that time for them.
yeah,
So
yeah. It's like I said, it's which I won't give it away. The world of where a magician there's a certain battle, which I won't say where, but there's a certain battle. There's a certain battle, and then when that battle's over, it's sort of like where the daughter of the empire starts. That's where the two sort of like come together,
yeah,
and it's sort of like within the Reforce saga, which is like the magician Silverthorn and the darkness of Setham, they run parallel with each other.
yeah,
So basically, sort of like you get that you're thinking, right, there's certain parts in, say, Silverthorn. You're thinking, right, okay, that's what's happening in. daughter, or that's what's happening in the servant. They
Yeah.
sort of like run parallel with each other.
Yeah. Yeah. And I can see it, and I can see it happening, right? As I
Yeah,
read, because it's like, because when they talk about the different servants and stuff, and or not servants, the different slaves, um, like they would talk about what was happening in mid Kenya, right? And it
yeah,
would be like, oh, that was where they were captured, or that was when this was happening, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It's like it's that's like I keep saying. That's what was one not only to you but to other people. If you are going to read it, read it from the beginning, like with Mitchell,
yeah,
Silverstone, and then Darkness Cecily. But don't
yeah,
go jumping over to the Prince of Blood. Read the Empire books because basically those six books run in conjunction with each other.
yeah,
And then it's sort of like what happens in these two sets of trilogies sort of like affects other the storyline the storyline down further down the line, if you know what I mean.
yeah, yeah.
So it's yeah. I'm seriously trying not to spoil it for you, if you know what I mean. And for other people, if people do decide to actually raise price, I'm trying really hard not to spoil it for people
Yeah.
because I am also like I said earlier with the Kucha, I've got to stop here before I start exploring the spoiler territory.
Yeah, yeah, yes. I think we're going on 2 hours here, so
Yeah,
I think we should call it.
yeah, call it now.
It's,
Yeah,
Raven,
so
yeah,
yeah,
Raven's flock is
yeah,
will
it's
be
going to start
starting
in about
anyway.
yeah, it's
I
going to
don't.
start in 30
Are you
minutes.
able to go over to him, or are you able to
Yeah,
do
I'll
that?
get the. I should get grab the link. Get the Revenant Flock link so to post it in the thing now. Unfortunately, we missed the gaming gaming thing, which
I
was
think they,
the
yeah,
Metal Gear Solid.
yeah. I think they understand. So we're
Yeah,
usually there.
right. Where is it? Where's the guys? If you're wondering who we're talking about, yeah, it's just finished. Yes, 10 minutes ago it's finished. Right, it went on a bit longer than normal. So, right, guys. This is going to be an interesting one. They're going to be talking about on the main Ravens flock. They are going to talk about um, Sam Bankman-Fried, uh, the founder of FTX,
Yeah,
the cryptocurrency pair thing we've got.
yeah,
So if
yeah,
you want to head on over to the Ravens flock, here's the link to their video to the live stream of today's show. So if you want to go over there and tell them that um, Lisa and Project sent you over. So if you want to go there, because they're always the guys are always funny. One show, Jose Casabona, Angel Mendez, and Dragon and
Ziana.
Sienna, that's it. Thank you. I was just couldn't think there. I had a brain fart.
I do the
I had
same
a,
thing. It's all right.
yeah, I had a
Yeah,
brain fart there.
I just thought that might be nice to get some people over to see them too. Even if you're catching it on the replay, it all
Yeah.
helps, right?
Oh yeah. That's what I normally do on a Wednesday and Thursday, because they do like the Ravens Flock does like the Black Files on the Wednesday, and the Wrestle Rewind on the Thursday.
Yeah.
Because obviously they usually start at 3 a.m. for UK time. I'm usually in bed by then. So I normally, when I get up in the morning, I tend to go and do the replay.
Yeah.
I do the
That's
replay. So
that's why I try and say hi for you because I know the time difference, right? So
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, usually on a Saturday, I tend to catch the main show, which is the Ravens Flock podcast.
Yeah.
I usually have 12:30.
Yeah. They'll be starting
So
in 25 minutes. So if
yeah,
anybody wants to catch them,
yeah. So guys, we sort of like call it there, and head on over to the Ravens Flock and tell the guys that Lisaboo and Project sent you. So if you want to watch it, please do. So we're going to call it there. And any final words, Lisa?
happy Easter to everyone that is celebrating. Much love to everyone. Be kind to each other, and don't drink and drive. That's
Oh, yes.
a quick thing to do.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Right, guys, we'll catch you all later.